Please support the Feral Druid army. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Meow. Yo, what's going on? It's Olfis, and today I'm bringing you a dueling guide that I have put together from experience. I'm trying to find more time to duel. It really helps with the understanding of each class in PvP. I will be posting quite a few class-specific dueling guides in the future, so make sure you stay tuned. If you're not subscribed, the Feral Druid army is currently accepting stray cats, so hit that button. Let's get into it. First off, we're going to talk about the talents that I prefer for this guide. Lunar Inspiration is amazing. Moonfire is good because it requires less energy. Most duels are short, so the energy that you're able to save is good. Being that it is ranged and also provides a dot helps even more. Oftentimes I will use Blood Scent depending on the enemy that I'm dueling. It does increase your critical strike, and Moonfire is not always important or the best option. Wild Charge. I use Wild Charge for the short cooldown and mobility, that's about it. Guardian Affinity. I use Guardian Affinity because it stops a lot of incoming damage with Frenzied Regeneration and Protector of Ashmane from the artifact weapon. You'll stop most, if not all, incoming damage. You may even get some health. While in bear form, this gives your bleeds time to tick away. Usually after bear form, I'll really go for the kill and burst away. Mighty Bash. Since duels are short and Mighty Bash is a stun for 0 energy, it's my best choice for duels. Incarnation. I use Incarnation over Soul of the Forest and Savage Roar simply because it's powerful in duels. Typically you're given one chance to burst and it makes up for no Savage Roar or Soul of the Forest. It is a great mix of both. Jagged Wounds. I use Jagged Wounds because I want the most passive damage possible, and those bleeds are the way to do it, especially because I'll spend some of the fight in bear form. Now Brutal Slash. I go with Brutal Slash because it deals a high amount of damage in a short period of time. Blood Talents would increase bleed damage, but I like to be aggressive after my opponent bursts. Now for the Honor Talents. I opt in for Gladiator's Medallion. I don't see much of a reason to use the other two talents in duels right now. With melee duels, I take up Sparring. For other situations, I will use Hardiness. Kiting and bleeding while above 80% in bear form. The 20% reduced damage helps make bear form that much better. I always run Shapemender since I often shift into and out of bear form. This has helped save me a few times in duels. Pouncing Strike is a great option, especially because it improves your mobility, giving you more of a chance to keep up with casters or other classes that will try and kite you. Other than that, I may opt for Freedom of the Herd for melee burst heavy duels to kite and minimize damage. King of the Jungle I find most useful because I don't maim or thrash much in duels. When I do my more class specific dueling guides, this may change. Right now I use Savage Momentum, especially against casting comps and sometimes Demon Hunters. Rip and Tear would be useful to use pre-burst so you can give your opponent fresh bleeds. The bleeds not only cause damage, but they also improve the damage from your melee abilities. So I have found that you want to keep bleeds up and plan for CC accordingly for each class. Also use bear form often. On openers, I work my bleeds up. After my bleeds are up, I will be expecting some heavy damage coming my way in most cases. It is good for me to be aware of enemy burst. When an enemy hits you with some cooldowns, bear form really works well, so it's your best friend. Depending on your situation, you could also use a few CCs. I try not to use too many stuns before going bear for the burst, so when I come out of the burst, I can take advantage of Incarnation and Rake and stun without worry of diminishing returns. The bleed damage leading up to this point gives me a good opportunity to burst and lock down the opponent. I like living through an enemy's burst or at least lowering their health a bit before I use mine. Once I am out of bear form, I'll throw a quick stun and set up fresh bleeds, then use my second survival instincts, assuming I've already used the first one. Once that is all done, I'll use Incarnation, Ashmane's Frenzy, and go for the kill with those Brutal Slashes, raking for a stun whenever possible and important. Typically this gets a win, if not, you're really close. You have to remember not to burst into an enemy's defensive cooldowns though. During this time I will Shadow Meld Re-Stealth or go bear form and kite. I will be posting guides on each specific class and spec in the future. If you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments. I will try to see what you guys are having trouble with or what you guys want to see me duel, and I'll focus on those classes first. I hope my guide was informative. One thing I really enjoy is duels and world PvPs, so I'm happy to share this with all of you. Join the Feral Druid army and subscribe. Remember, all strays are welcome. Peace, guys.